Well, this is going to be a weekly snapshot of Libra energy, and I appreciate you spending your time with me here. Welcome to my channel. The first position is your overall energy of the reading. It's the card off the bottom of the deck, and you got the Lover's card. So the Lover's card is about admiration. It's about duality a lot of times, and the obvious implication of it being about a relationship or a love interest. And I'm noticing the candles here. There's 6 candles in there, which seems to indicate a lot of passion involved here. And I'm seeing this veil here, so it might not be something that's so out in the open here. It might be something that's maybe a one-way thing. You know, maybe it's hidden from either something you feel towards someone or something that someone feels towards you and they're not letting you know about it. But I also feel there's this level of transparency or vulnerability involved here. So this next position is the focal point of the reading, and so you have the King of Coins crossed by the Ace of Coins. And so the King is obviously, it's a masculine energy, which is about giving and demonstrating value. And I don't think of coins generally as money. I think of it more as value, security, and abundance. So I feel like you're a person who has a lot to give, but I feel like you've been forced to kind of start over again. This is kind of planting new seeds of value. And so I feel like, well, especially when I look at these clarifier cards, you got the 5 of Cups, which is about feeling a loss. And you got the 8 of Wands, which is about listening for communication. And in this one, this card here, I feel like it's depicted as she's going inward and she's kind of listening to listening for some kind of spiritual communication, sort of an intuitive answer she's looking for. And I feel like this 5 of Cups, this is my favorite 5 of Cups. When I look at these two people, well, one is a bird and one is a person, but when you look at them, it's hard to tell which one's which. So I feel like that's the feeling of being so intermingled with someone, you kind of lose track of who's you and who's them. So in the separation, you kind of feel like you lost part of yourself. And when you look at the nest here, it looks like a big bowl of spaghetti. And, you know, I feel like that might be the cord that connects the two of you together, if it's some kind of a soulmate. And it's so intermingled there, you're not even sure where it begins and where it ends. So I feel like this is a little bit of a heartbreak situation that you're going through here. And also, the 8 of Wands is a card of speed. It's probably the fastest card in the deck. So I feel like there must be some kind of urgency in looking for these answers, especially if you feel this way. If you feel that you've been in this relationship or this love situation where you feel devastated and you feel like you lost part of yourself, you probably feel kind of depressed, and you feel like, hey, I need answers here with urgency. So the next position represents your approach or your perspective. And this is from the Animal Spirit deck. And you got the Sea Serpent. So the Sea Serpent is a really supportive and protective energy, and it's about self-love. So I feel like you've gone through this situation here, and maybe this didn't work out with the Lover's card here. Maybe this was someone you had your eye on and it didn't work out, and so you've kind of had to go inward here. And you're just kind of in a place where you're trying to heal yourself a little bit. So with this energy, if you're on a positive side of the balance, you can be in a place of forgiveness and loosen your grip on self-judgment. If you're in the lower side of the balance, then you might be in a place where you feel very stagnant as far as your self-expression. I'm feeling that right now you're in a place where you're a little out of balance. And so I do feel like you've decided to go into isolation a little bit, especially we have the COVID-19 going on, and it's probably a healthy place to be right now. So this next position is about your mental energy. And Gemini got the same card in this position. And so this is the Devil card. And in most Devil cards, there's two people, but it's just you in this card. And this is the Fool from this deck in this cage, which to me tells me that you have kind of let go of everything. You're kind of starting over again. The Fool has the number 0 representing nothing. He's no longer carrying baggage. And the cage is open, and all you have to do is get outside the cage. But I think that's probably a mental cage. It's a cage that you've caused for yourself a little bit. You're in a little bit of anguish over maybe this experience that you had here with this person you had your heart set on. And you also got the Wheel of Fortune as your clarifier card. And so in this Wheel of Fortune card, she's a butterfly, which is representative of transformation. And so I feel like this has probably been a pretty good experience for you to teach you what you maybe need to know to advance further on your path. And so, you've probably had, maybe you actually released some karma, which is really just about learning lessons. And this is probably one of those situations where you have to realize that this is happening for you, not to you. In your emotional energy, you got the Knight of Wands. So this is an action card. It's about taking action on your passion. This is maybe feeling like you wanted to rush in and express yourself. Maybe you did. You might have actually done this. And the clarifier card for that is the Six of Wands, which is a feeling of victory. And so in this card in the background, you can see the fortress back there, and there's this an elephant back there. And elephants represent maybe immobile or knocking obstacles out of their way. And she's kind of leaving that scene there. So I feel like maybe whoever this person is that you wanted to rush into, maybe they had an impenetrable fortress, or maybe it was a battle you couldn't win. So you may be seeing this as a victory, as in you left everything on the table. Maybe you went in and you expressed yourself, and you knew that you tried everything you could, and you feel good about that. Or it could be that you learned a lesson here of what you maybe value now, and you learned that you just want to focus on yourself, and you feel maybe this is helping you find a new sense of internal strength. You're choosing you over choosing other people. Maybe you're realizing that you can't just be giving your value away to anybody. You need to build yourself. So maybe the victory here is that you learned to find yourself at some level. This next position represents your subconscious. And you got the Eight of Cups. So there's this feeling in your unknown of walking away. Now, this might be a feeling of being abandoned, or it might be the feeling of walking away too quickly. Like maybe you leave a situation before you get abandoned. And you did get the Six of Pentacles here, which is about give and take. And they have a cat and mouse situation going on here. And so I feel like that's about chasing and running, which looks to be this person here. It's sort of the dark self here. I feel like this card, well, the moon's in there, so that's all about the unknown. I feel like this is all about the subconscious, and that's the section that we're working in here. So I feel like you are learning about running and chasing. You know, maybe you're chasing people that don't deserve your value, or you're learning to run from people that maybe do have a lot of value and you're just afraid of being hurt. And you got the Five of Swords here, which is all about, this is kind of about being mentally hurt. Maybe this is the experience that made you feel this way. And I feel like you got the Knight of Swords here. So I feel like you are taking action, and this is sort of all in the mind here. I feel like you're taking an action to kind of go inward and fight these battles here. Because you are, when you go back here, we were in the mental place. This was being in that mental cage. And so I feel like that's the battle that's going on right now. All right, I'm going to shuffle the deck here a little bit and see if we can pull some advice cards for you. All right, and I'm going to pull 5 cards. So the advice I'm seeing for you is, this first card, you got the Nine of Wands, which is all about carrying those burdens. And in the card, it shows her cutting them down. And so I think the advice for you is to just let that go. Whatever that was, it didn't serve you very well. It seems like it's given you a lot of problems. And the next card here is the Ace of Pentacles again. So I think that's what your crossing card was about. The Eight of Pentacles. It was about starting new seeds of value. And I think that might be for yourself. I think this is about that energy of going inward and kind of reestablishing your own value, or remembering who you are, remembering your own value. And you got the Six of Swords, which could literally be about moving to another place. So maybe it's changing an environment. So for instance, if this was someone at your work, maybe you want to change jobs, or you want to change some of the people that you're associating with that are kind of keeping this alive in your energy. Or this could just be in your emotional place, in your heart. Now, in your emotional space here, it did show the Six of Wands as leaving the area. So it looks like whatever happened was back here, and she was leaving, and so it looks like that's what's happening here too. And so maybe it's just letting that, rather than wanting to stay and continue to fight for that emotional thing that you were after, maybe it's just submitting and letting it go, because it's not healthy for you. Maybe it's one of those situations, as soon as you can close that door, another door will open for you. And as a matter of fact, you got the Wheel of Fortune here, and that's kind of what that's all about anyways. And so this is the second Wheel of Fortune card that you've had here. So you've had 2 Ace of Pentacles, which are about reestablishing value, and you got 2 Wheel of Fortune cards, which are saying, hey, the luck is about to change for you. This is the karmic wheel, so you've been learning these valuable lessons that are going to set you up well for the next situation that you're heading to. And then the last thing here is the Knight of Pentacles, which is an action card, but it's the slowest action card maybe in the deck here. So, well, definitely of the Knights, he's the slowest one. So I think this is telling you to slow down, and maybe you don't want to be rushing into anything right now. Maybe you just want to take your time and reassess what's going on. Definitely, if you're going to reestablish your own personal value, well, then you want to hold off on rushing into anything else right now. You should just take some time. I think everyone should take a year off in their life and just kind of don't give your energy away to anybody. Just kind of learn who you are, love yourself. When you can love yourself, that really opens up a lot of things for you. So Libra, that was a snapshot of your energy for the week. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I will catch you in the next video.